Testing? Okay, there. My mic wasn't working. Okay, here we are. Mr. and Mrs. X. In countless stories, we've seen a familiar romance play out. The hero with a loyal, pure hearted, perfect sweetheart, symbolizing innocence and light, meets, along their journey, a dangerous, alluring confidant, embodying temptation and thrill. This pattern has produced enduring romances, the tangled love history of heroes like Peter Parker, Jean Grey, and many more still spark debate decades later. Yet, in truth, these romances often feel like episodes in the hero's personal legend. The steadfastness of the childhood sweetheart reflects the hero's own loyalty. The allure of the confidant mirrors the hero's charisma. They mark stages in a journey toward responsibility and pain, rather than a truly equal, bittersweet love. That's why Gambit and Rogue's relationship is so striking, and why, paradoxically, is rarity. Its rarity lies in how ordinary it truly is. From the first spark of Mirror Island to finally tying the knot in front of friends and allies, their relationship has spanned 30 years, weaving a heart-shaped knot in the ever-shifting flow of time. If X means potential to Professor Xavier and evolution to Magneto, then for Gambit and Rogue, X means the crossing of two life paths. Quite so. Their bond was unexpected, ignited by two separate life trajectories colliding. Though this spark grew ever more frequent and brilliant over the years, even if those paths had never crossed, neither would lose their shine. Gambit would still be the charming rogue of the Thieves Guild, and Rogue would still be the strong, unyielding Southern Belle. They don't need to steal each other's light to grow brighter. Their love is so pure that it feels untouched by any writer's hand. It's not a plot device, but a choice made by living, breathing people. That's why their journey is so winding and poignant. The torment of being unable to touch the shadows of old memories, the trials of past loves and new ones, the legacy of alternate timelines. Again and again, they've been pulled apart, but as we said, they're no longer puppets on a creator's strings. They remember 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, what they said, what they did. Those intertwined paths and shared adventures will always lead them back to each other. So when Gambit and Rogue stepped in to take the place of Kitty Pryde and Colossus, finally completing their wedding, we can't help but feel joy, as if they were old friends we've never met, whose happiness warms us by proximity. As Marvel Rivals Season 5 arrives, winter will come hand in hand with the game's first anniversary. We believe there's no better moment to bring Gambit and Rogue's wedding into the game. Even if the real world is wrapped up in snow and ice, they will celebrate their union on the eternity springtime shores of Krakoa, hosting this grand event for all to see. Every Marvel Rivals player will bear witness to their everlasting love, a celebration that will also add a joyful vibe to the game's anniversary festivities, though their wedding will be interrupted by an unexpected twist. That very surprise will set the stage for a mysterious honeymoon among the stars. Some might ask, why waste the spotlight of a love story on two people destined to be together? After all, Gambit and Rogue are the kind of couple that seem perfectly matched at glance. Both come from checkered paths, both were welcomed into the X-Men for their good hearts, and even their powers share a theme of theft. One steals treasure and hearts, the other steals powers and memories. To let such a fated pair end up together may feel safe, even dull, like stealing away the infinite possibilities of other stories. But perhaps that's the very definition of love, to allow someone to steal every other possibility from your life, leaving only the long walk down the winding road of life together for the rest of your days. Alright everyone, here we are. Marvel Rivals Season 5. That is a very awesome screen for the menu. That is no doubt the Grandmaster, or the Collector, one of the two. Oh, let's see what we got. Excuse me, why are we on Season 4? I could probably fix that. The home background has been adjusted, it said. Love is a battlefield. The Grand Garden Adventure. Oh, look at that. Very touching. There we go. I've read about this, how every character has, yes, a sitting down emote. Okay, is there a way I can reopen the thing? There we go, we can see the transition. Oh, it's trying to play, but it's having trouble playing. Don't worry, I'll get it to work. I'll be sure to show the animation later. Okay, so let's see what we got. Darkness fades, and the world sees light once more. The god of symbiote. This is from. Yes, this is, yeah. That's not right. It should have given me something about the... Should have given me something... I'm trying to say, it should have told me something about, like, oh, hey, Kunlun is over. So now we're at the Grand Garden. Okay, so the Grand Garden Adventure. Let's see what this has to offer. Our first skin. Namor would make a good pirate. The Monstro King. You never truly know what stirs in the silent night, or what unknown threats lurk in the treacherous deep. There might be twisted creatures, assaults upon the mind, or age-old secrets left buried. What will the waves wash ashore next? Gambit. Monstro King. Namor would make a good pirate. Big buddy, I am Groot. This is what Groot would have looked like when the Guardians of the Galaxy, when it was properly rebooted, I guess you can say. I can still, yeah, I can look at the Thing emblem. Finally, Fantastic Four emblem. We are Groot. Big buddy. So yeah, when the Guardians were properly rebooted in 2008, or as it says there, this is what they wore. They wore a uniform that was basically like the Kree. It's what the Kree wore. Aw, a little miniature Milano model. else is going to play around with it. Frankencastle. I saved your life, Frank Castle. Make good. Wait, I saved your life. Frank Castle. Make good. Help us. What do you say? I say, good luck. This could have worked well for her skin back in Halloween. It's alive! The blue thing. What if the thing were blue? Pretty self-explanatory. It was in a What If issue back in the 70s. Punisher's emblem. Blue thing. It looks good bluish, to be honest. Ah, yes. This is a thing that happens. Sometimes Ben has to, like, shave or at least chisel his rock face down, so yeah. Midnight suspense. I've heard enough. The time has finally come for the Black Widow to live again. Ah! She's coming off more like Black Cat, Phantom of the Operative. Poised to strike. Grand Games, okay. Merciful Queen. No god should have dominion over death, who has so little appreciation for life. Season 2 of What If. I believe this version of Hela was when, when she was banished. Like, in this What If episode, Odin, instead of sealing her away, Odin decided to banish her to Earth instead, which led to her becoming a lot more merciful and humble. Kind of like what happened to Thor in the movie Rogue. The Merciful Queen. Yeah, it is because of the 10 rings. She would meet Shang-Chi. Odin's beautiful daughter. The tiger god is no mere omen. It prowls the eons in stripes, shimmering white. A true king who rules with mercy will call forth, for the beast honors those who know true power require for restraint. The first thing humanity feared. Its cry rips the air and whips the wind. And when it needed a champion, the one-winged angel became the perfect weapon. Oh, so Sephiroth, huh? Okay. Crouching Tiger. Which means when Lyn gets his other costume, hopefully, he is the hidden dragon. She's like a weird hybrid of a one-winged tiger because of all that fur on her. Infinity Ultron, also from the What If, from Season 1. I'm going to bring about peace in our time to every corner of the universe. Oh. Now there's a detail I actually never noticed, I think. Is that because in that version of What If, in that episode, Because the Avengers were not able to successfully steal Vision, or at least the body that Ultron was going to use, he has a mouth underneath. Like, he's still a mechanical machine, but it's really weird. Magus. Or, yeah, you could say Magnus, but it's Magus. There's always a price to pay for everything. This is Adam Warlock's evil counterpart. He has brought him up in like 1 or 2 dialogue pieces, but he's basically... Originally, he was said to be Adam from the future who became evil, and he decided to come back in time to speed up that process. But I think it's since been that this is basically all the evil that Adam had within himself that got purged and separated, but it became an entity of its own. Chronovium die of the Grandmaster. A 20-piece die. Would have preferred if Magus was a separate character, though, instead of a skin. Witch of the Evil Eye. There is no defense against the Scarlet Witch. The Scarlet Witch's hex. This was what Wanda originally looked like in her debut. And this was before they changed her the way she was, because when she initially appeared, Wanda was considered a mutant, and that her powers were essentially a mutant power despite being magical in nature. But they've since changed it to how we know it now, and it honestly works better that way. Crown of Thorns. Vision. Man, they better add Vision to the game someday. Museum security. And units. Alright. What else do we got? Of course, I got missions to take care of and do. Yep, Marvel Zombies is still ongoing. To those who don't know, it was supposed to end, like, today. Or at least, you know, as I record this. But it tested and received so much reception from players that they decided to extend... the event. So they added additional new achievements here that you can get with some units and titles. I really want to get this one, though. This is the one I'm more focused on than anything. It says solo clear as characters. I'm not sure how you solo clear. I would assume there's an option for it, though. So I just have to find out. Oh, there's an event, so I gotta read up on that. The Elder's Chessboard. The Iron Spider Skin. Complete painting pieces to unlock exclusive gallery cards and the Iron Spider costume. 2 more will get you a gallery card. Okay. And it will go as the days go on. So this will be open on Sunday. Yeah, this one will be on Sunday. That should be on... Oh, wait. Sunday. Okay. Tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Simple as that. There he is. There's the man himself. But that's for later. Man, can't wait to see how this is going to get filled out down here. There's new team-ups, I believe, And they even tweaked a few. Yeah, here's one. Explosive entanglement. You and me, we need to talk, Eric, Gambit said, his intense red eyes fixed on Magneto. Now is not the time, Remy, Magneto said, as he used his mutant power to unleash a hailstorm of metallic debris toward the Grandmaster's goons. I am busy fighting for the future of our people. Some of them, maybe, Gambit said, effortlessly hurling a charged playing card at another cosmic enforcer. But you're leaving the others high and dry. This is about Rogue, Magneto said, realizing what was bothering his fellow X-Man. She was the only thing we got in common, Gambit replied. Difference is, I want to protect that girl, while you banned her from returning home to Krakoa. I want to know why now. It was for good reason, Magneto argued, his focus still on the battle raging around them. I couldn't let Krakoa become the next Grand Garden. Her powers are out of control. You want to see out of control? Gambit asked, performing an acrobatic leap over Magneto and grabbing the giant sword right off the Master of Magnetism's back. Let me show you. Gambit used his mutant power to convert the potential energy within Magneto's greatsword into volatile kinetic energy. Its haunting glow on Gambit's face showed Magneto just how serious his friend was. You don't know what you're doing, Magneto snapped, using his abilities to rip the fully charged weapon out of Gambit's hands, sending it hurling across the battlefield. As it impacted a distant wall, it exploded in a massive burst of energy. Magneto summoned back to the fractured pieces of his sword, instantly reassembling it in his grip. I know exactly what I'm doing, Gambit said, and next time, I won't be holding back. There will not be a next time, Magneto said, sheathing his weapon once more. I have faith that we can resolve our differences without fighting. You are a man of honor, Remy. That is why I gave you and Rogue my blessing, and it is why I know we will forge ahead together, a solution together. Taken aback by Magneto's words, Gambit grumbled under his breath and began to walk away. He may have not gotten the fight he was itching for, but deep down he hoped Magneto was right. After all, Rogue's future depended on it. Let's see. So he is the anchor. So Gambit charges Magneto's sword with kinetic energy. When Magneto activates this ability, Iron Volley is replaced with Ace Greatsword, which detonates upon striking enemies. The explosion leaves residual kinetic energy within the target, inflicting secondary damage after a brief delay. Full potential. Okay. The Sword of Duality. But Daredevil said he took all these hand losers out already, Cloak said, as he enveloped several Red Clan ninjas in the darkness of his body. In his own timeline, maybe, Daggard replied, hurling light force projectiles at another wave of oncoming hand warriors. But this reality is clearly still teeming with them. Well, we're not going to last much longer against them, Hawkeye said, gesturing toward the quiver on his back. I'm all out of arrows, which means we are officially outnumbered. Outnumbered, Psylocke responded, but not outmatched, unless the tales you've told us about your skills with a sword might have been exaggerated. Hawkeye grabbed the hilt of his katana and unsheathed it, its silver blade catching a glint of moonlight as he brought it to attack position. Yes, I can go full Ronin for a while, Hawkeye said, remembering the brief time he wore a different costume and used another name. But as good as I am with the old slice and dice, I'm not sure I stand a chance against never-ending horde of magic ninjas with the power to come back from the dead. Maybe we can help you with that, Dagger suggested. If Cloak and I channel our powers into your sword, Ty's Dark Force might be able to suppress the hand's mystical ability to regenerate. So once we take them down, Cloak said, they'll stay down. And my Light Force could give the rest of us much needed boost along the way, Dagger added. So it'll help us regain our strength and weaken our enemies, Hawkeye said. Sounds perfect. Too perfect. What's the catch? Well, it's just a theory so far, Dagger admitted. We've never actually tested it on anyone else and don't know what will happen. Whatever it does, Hawkeye said with a shrug, it's got to be better than this. And if it is a success, Psylocke added, I will gladly be next in line for an upgrade. I was going to say, why would Psylocke be chiming in if she's not showing up here? So I'm guessing she is going to be added. So how does it work?
Balance.
I see how it works. Yeah, so basically when you use the Crescent Slash, it will launch a, an energy wave will sweep through and will hit your allies and enemies. It'll heal your teammates and it will inflict invulnerability to enemies and do a tiny bit of damage to them. The Blade of Khonshu. My avatar is in danger, a voice unexpectedly said inside of Blade's head. The Daywalker didn't know who it belonged to at first, until images of a battle-weary Moon Knight suddenly appeared in his mind. Khonshu? Blade asked. That you? Indeed, the Egyptian god of the moon replied. It seems my fist has spoken of me. Yeah, Blade said. Spectre can't shut up about you. Doesn't always have the nicest things to say either. What he thinks of me matters not, Khonshu said. What he does for me is my only concern, but even with my blessing, he may not survive the battle at hand. If anyone can scrap his way through a fight, it's him, Blade said. I am not so sure about that, Khonshu replied. Worried, Blade rushed through the streets of New York to find Moon Knight, eventually seeing his ally in the distance. His white cape in tatters, besieged from all sides by a horde of ravenous vampires. Blade knew he wouldn't have time to reach Moon Knight. Even drawing his gun and firing at the bloodthirsty foes would be too little too late. I cannot risk losing my most devoted disciple, Khonshu said. If that means taking on another to serve me, so be it. Will you accept? Serving gods ain't exactly my style, Blade said, but I don't see another option. Let's do this, before I change my mind. Suddenly, all time seemed to stop, as Blade began to feel Khonshu's divine power flowing through him. Blade drew his sword, releasing a wave of crescent moon-shaped blades in the direction of Moon Knight and his attackers. The moon blades ricocheted between the vampires, easily ending the assault on Khonshu's original avatar. What happened? Moon Knight asked, pulling himself up to his feet. Turns out that voice inside your head was real after all, Blade replied, and he hooked me up. I'm not surprised, Moon Knight said. Khonshu's told me before that he admires you. He always thought he wanted... I always thought he wanted to replace me with you. None could ever take your place. Oh, none could ever take your place, my Moon Knight, Khonshu said reassuringly. But imagine how mighty our vengeance could be with 2 fists instead of 1.
Lunar strike.
Let's see.
Fear the night.
Blade swings his sword in powerful slashes, dashing sword distant. At the end of the dash, he swiftly slashes 4 times, each strike sending a dark moon blade forward. When a dark moon blade hits an enemy, it bounces to nearby targets.
Fear the night.
Primal Flame. What have you gotten yourself into this time, Logan? Black Widow whispered as she looked through the scope of her sniper rifle. She had found the perfect vantage point to pick off a squad of public eye officers from a safe distance. But while she had removed herself from the heart of battle, Wolverine had failed to do the same. In fact, his berserker attack had drawn all the corrupted lawmen toward him. This wasn't the first time her adamantium-clawed ally had put himself directly in the line of fire. Since he arrived in the year 2099 alongside the rest of his fellow mutants, Wolverine had been caught in the crossfire on numerous occasions. And while his healing factor always got him back on his feet, the wounds still hurt. If Black Widow allowed her friend to become collateral damage yet again, she feared he might reconsider his participation in her band of freedom fighters. Desperate for another solution, Black Widow remembered her recent visit to the planet Clintar. There, she temporarily became the host to a small fraction of the Phoenix Force, and while she eventually relinquished that primal power, she still felt the slightest tinge of cosmic fire burning within her. As she closed her eyes and concentrated on the Phoenix's eternal flame, the chamber of her rifle began to glow. Saying a quiet prayer in Russian, she pulled the weapon's trigger, unleashing a flaming bullet that soared directly toward the battlefield. As it reached its destination, it exploded in a dazzling display, instantly eliminating all of the public eye officers, while leaving Wolverine unscathed. Black Widow watched through her scope as her friend's initial frustration gave way to relief as he realized that he wasn't injured by the explosion. In fact, the power of the Phoenix Force had accelerated his recovery. Black Widow quickly turned as the Phoenix herself descended from the sky behind her. By the look on her face, the Phoenix was caught off guard by the Widow's use of her power, but she was eager to see how her former host might use her cosmic flame again. So, because her shots explode on impact, I'm going to assume that when using it on allies, the radius will heal other allies, and that on enemies, the radius will damage other enemies. Logan still keeps his, I believe.
Phoenix Force, baby.
And that's it. That's all the new team-ups. They did remove and change a few, obviously. Thieves Guildmaster, and the Temporal Tyrant. Have to think about getting those later. New accessories. Well, before we do though, so these are the current skins we have from Season 4 left over. I'll get them eventually, and Season 3, again, I'll get those eventually. So, accessories. We have Throg. Thor still vividly recalls that mischievous prank. In his relentless quest for the throne of Asgard, his cunning brother Loki transformed him into a croaking frog. But the god of thunder is no ordinary being. True to his nature, he effortlessly turned the tables and resolved the crisis as he always does. I guess it hangs off his back. Or, oh no, it's on the handle of Mjolnir. So there are two different versions of Frog Thor. One of them was when Thor was turned into a frog, but he was still worthy to wield Mjolnir, which turned him into Frog, or Throg. And then there was another one where a regular normal frog was able to touch Mjolnir, and it was deemed worthy enough to become Thor Frog, as it's called. Sometimes they get mixed up and are one of the same. Alligator Loki. Loki's history with pets has been nothing short of disastrous, yet that didn't deter him from welcoming a new companion, an alligator version of himself from a parallel universe. Surprisingly, their similar natures not only allowed them to coexist harmoniously, but also forged an unexpected alliance. After all, they share a common goal: to deal with the brother they both find utterly intolerable. I guess he wears it on his, oh, it's biting his staff. Alligator Loki just was in the Loki show in Season 1. Was treated as a joke. Was meant to be more of a joke, if anything, just because of the fact that it's an alligator. A little juvenile alligator wearing Loki's crown. The best part with it was that nobody really knew for sure if the alligator was Loki or not. Like, Loki that shapeshifted into an alligator or some other thing. Khonshu bobblehead. It's so stretchy. For Mark Spector, whose soul once laid shattered, the intervention of the moon god Khonshu brought about a rebirth. He unified the powers of Mark, Steven, and Jake as Moon Knight, bestowing upon this fractured spirit a renewed sacred mission. As Mark once vowed to Khonshu, as long as the moon hangs in the sky, your knight will serve you for eternity. It's on his... Yeah, it's on his glove. It's not on, like, his... Yeah. It's not on his crescent blades. One-of-a-kind music player. In a cosmos filled with god-slaying weapons and intergalactic empires, Peter Quill's most cherished treasure isn't an ancient artifact, rather the trusty Walkman left to him by his mother. This device not only holds the essence of a young Earth boy's entire childhood, but also serves as an emotional anchor for this cosmic rogue as he navigates the boundless seas of the universe. I wouldn't call it a Walkman, it looks more like a Tamagotchi. Okay, so it hangs off of his jacket. Rax. the fact that it's referring him by Douglas, which is referring to how in the comics Drax was originally a man named Arthur Douglas. The relationship between Drax and Arthur is far more complicated than we might think. Thankfully, Mantis's powerful empathy allows her to deeply understand their struggles, which can also stem from her own complex experiences. Naturally, this has forged yet another inseparable friendship within the Guardians of the Galaxy. But wait a minute, where exactly did Drax wander off to? Yep, just hanging off of her little belt. Rogue plush. Remy LeBeau once naively believed he could acquire everything through his skills and cunning until he met Anna Marie. It was then that he realized the greatest prize in life isn't something to be stolen, but rather something earned with an open heart and genuine spirit. Hangs off of his, okay. As of now, I've obviously not played Gambit or anything, so I'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Bombastic Bagman. I know... Oh, Johnny still vividly remembers the day Peter showed up in the alien battlesuit, and it genuinely took him by surprise. Thankfully, Reed was there to resolve the situation just in time. To help Spider-Man get home without revealing his identity, Johnny thoughtfully prepared a new outfit for him, even though he had no idea who Spider-Man truly was at the time. As for the note stuck to Peter's back, well, who else but the mischievous Johnny himself could be behind that prank? Kick me. Hangs off of it. Yeah, hangs off of his back. Good thing it's fireproof. Pretty pride. To be honest, few can truly comprehend the tumultuous heart of Illyana Rasputin. Yet Catherine has an uncanny ability to penetrate those layers of barriers, reaching her softest side with ease. Despite the ever-changing world around them, their friendship has remained as pure as the day it began. After all, friendship truly is the greatest magic in this universe. It's on the hilt of the Soul Storm. It's clipping through it, though. This was because at the time, when Kitty and Colossus were dating, she and Illyana got along fairly well and became good friends. And even after Colossus stopped dating Kitty, they still remained good friends. X-23. For Logan, Lara is more than just a daughter. She represents so much more. Her presence not only reveals the best version of himself, but also provides a warm harbor for his heart, which has wandered for centuries. As long as she is by his side, he will always strive to be his best self. Hangs off of his... yeah, down there, okay. Yep, X-23. And then lastly, Cyclops. For Jean, who wields cosmic-level powers, Scott's presence is far more significant than any of that. In his eyes, she is not the Phoenix, not an Omega, but simply Jean Grey, deeply loved. It is because of him that she finds the courage to harness the power capable of incinerating stars, overcoming all obstacles, and ultimately returning to his side. as I wear the Dark Phoenix outfit. It kind of sucks that the Phoenix blocks the way to see it better. And then there's these, but these are stuff that for later. Okay, can still buy Holy Onks if you want. Get this out of the way. Here it is. Love is a battlefield. I can't see the image well. It's another big image. These two have no images. That means that there's going to be more to this. Alrighty then. I think that will do for me showing off what we got here for Season 5. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. There's stuff up here. Let me get rid of the highlights so that I don't have to... Okay, and then there's one up there. New achievements. Unlock all the gallery cards. Use text coloring, emoji, or mood in a chat channel once. Change the home background once. Well, that's easy. All of that is easy to do. In fact, yeah, I can just do these two and then get whatever the next reward is. Which is, yeah, this. I still need to get that. And then with Gambit, land 3 KOs with a single use of his ult, and then assist Hawkeye in getting a KO. Okay. Alrighty then. We're going to end it there. So that will do for this episode of Marvel Rivals. And showcasing Season 5 here. This is going to be quite an interesting season. Especially once Rogue comes into play. So, next time, I'm not going to read... Well, it's more that... The next one is not going to be me showing off Gambit's gameplay. Or reading lore. I did record in Marvel Zombies, because I've uploaded the other ones. I did record Blade... gameplay of me doing Blade. So that one will be going up the next time. But after Blades, it will then be new stuff. It will be Gambit. It'll be Gambit's gameplay. And for all I know, by the time I can... yeah, it'll be Gambit's gameplay. Then it will be the lore. And then, of course, we're getting a new map in like a week or two, I believe. I do have the image of the roadmap for Season 5, so... Or at least the first half of Season 5. Here it is. The new map won't be until the 28th. And it's also a new game mode, too. It's an 18 versus 18 conquest annihilation. Meaning that it is a free-for-all. But it's with 18... It's 18 people against other... It's a team of 18 against 18. Which is very bizarre. As for other events and stuff that we'll be getting... Oh, there's also another new map, Times Square. And I can, in fact, show that off. I guess it doesn't matter who I choose. I think I'll be, let's go Blade.
My whole life, all I've known is the hunt. Anyone call a vampire that's in session.
This is weird. I better...
Thanks for the shield.
Yeah, so Times Square, this is a place where you can not only practice, not only where you can practice, but you can also like interact with players and make friends. This is just so weird and bizarre.
This is Captain What's best? Avatar is here. You got him, shit.
One's just, this is just so weird for me. What am I stumbling upon?
Here, you know, Spider-Man?
Okay. Yeah, I need to get out of here. This is so bizarre. Wait, hub menu.
Spider-Man over here.
Oh, it shows all the players that are currently in here. I forgot how many players can be in here at once.
That airship is ready to strike.
I think.
Pray for the
Avatar is here. Has arrived. Deal me in. Ready's ready to adventure.
Your guardian angel.
Night, I think.
You know, Spider-Man?
Yeah, it's just strange seeing all this. You can also change heroes if you want.
Whose avatar is here? Got him shared. Whose avatar is here?
And seeing people arguing about Gambit, technically he can. I want to say that. In a way, Gambit can heal. Kinetic energy can accelerate his healing. Does this go anywhere? I just want to explore and see more of this map. Oscorp, Rivals Day coming soon.
Moon Knight now.
Alright, let's get out of here. Boy, that was surreal. Does that count? Oh, it doesn't. It has to be in a channel. Well, hold on. Does this count? Ah. And then that's... Yeah, I could just get the other thing easily. Alright, let me put that back to normal, because I'm just standard like that. Okay, where was I before getting distracted by all of that? So Times Square, the next major event will be some new costumes for Magic and Doctor Strange. Then on the 28th will be the anniversary event where there will be it'll be a Galactica event and have anniversary costumes for some of the heroes and characters. And then there will be another set of costumes for Rivals Day. And then when the 12th of December comes, that is when we are halfway through Season 5, and we will get more stuff. The 28th is also when the new map comes, so if I were to look at what I got now... Yeah, there's going to be plenty to do. Alrighty then. I got work to do. I got stuff to do for this game. So, yeah, that is it. And I will see you guys next time.